Hello everyone, I'm here with Cole Ferguson. Cole, so you came to me because you'd had a real traumatic incident years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And you spent 2 weeks in a coma actually, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And then, so that resulted in PTSD for you.
Yeah.
So we've done some work together now. I think this is our 4th session. So why don't you talk a little bit about, your progress?
Oh, well, when I first came here, my life was pretty bad. I couldn't leave my bed. I would have massive panic attacks anytime I left my room. I really felt that there was no hope of living anymore. I was in a really dark place, but after the first session I came here, I was amazed. My dad was telling me and my grandma was telling me how amazing it was to see me out of my room. I would get to the door and I would fire my anchor like you taught me, and I would just walk right through like there was no problem.
And prior to that, what would happen? You would get to
I would get to the door and I would start to have a panic attack. I would get dizzy and my legs would wobble and I would have to go sit down on my bed again.
And were there days that you just couldn't leave your room?
There were days like that. There was possibly like a week or two
where you wouldn't leave your room for an entire week or two?
I wouldn't leave, no.
So
I would have to get my grandma to get me water and food.
Okay. And so after our first session, I think it's been 2 months since our first session, roughly.
Yes.
Was it right after the first session that you instantly had no problem leaving your room?
Right after the first session, I got home and I remember I sat on the couch and watched a movie with my grandma, and
And you've had no problems since. She was crying.
Yeah, she was crying.
She was happy.
Yeah, she couldn't believe that I was out of my room.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it either.
Speaking of happy, I notice when you walk in this room now
that
you're a different guy.
Yeah.
You really feel that, don't you?
Yeah, my life has changed.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how else your life has changed. You told me about specific things. One was nightmares.
Yes, I would have, for 6 years, I would have nightmares about drowning in sand.
Drowning in sand.
Drowning in sand, yes.
And how often were you having these nightmares?
I was having them every day. I would wake up several times in the night. I used to have to sleep with a baby monitor connected to my dad's room because I couldn't function. I had to ask for help several times in the night.
So you didn't just have nightmares every night. You had several nightmares every night.
Several nightmares every night, yes. Every time I closed my eyes.
Now, how many nightmares have you had since your first session?
0.
0. Gone.
0.
6 straight years of nightmares?
6 straight years, all gone.
Yeah. And you understand now that the problem was not necessarily that traumatic incident and the memory, but how you were accessing the memory.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing.
Okay, so let's talk about, so one was the nightmares. Oh, panic attacks.
Yes,
that's the big one.
Panic attacks. That was
because it wasn't
crazy.
Just in relation to leaving your room. You would have panic attacks on a daily basis for other reasons too.
Yeah.
And how many panic attacks have you had since your first session?
I had, I started to feel like I was about to have one after the first session, and I fired my anchor, and it stopped completely, and I haven't had one since, which is insane.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay. Man, I'm glad to see you so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all thanks to you.
Thanks to me. My job's easy. You're the one that did all the hard work, right? You have to be willing to go there. And you have to be willing to explore how it is that you created your problem. And you were an open book right from the very beginning, and you wanted this change, and that's why it worked.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Glad to see you so happy.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent, man. Good work.
Hello everyone, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you've got any questions or you'd like to contact me, you can do so by visiting my website or my Facebook page. All the information you need is available in the description box below. I look forward to hearing from you.